Welcome in, casters. My name is Kevin, the R&D director of MetaZooGames, and I have with me the fantastic Justin here, the third place winner of the New Year's tournament of 2022. Justin, my friend, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing fantastic, my friend. I'm doing fantastic. And fantastic is the word of the night, meaning it is fantastic. Well, let's get it going on. What made you get into MetaZoo?
Well, I've kept an eye on it since I think the Kickstarter release. I guess I didn't know for sure if it was gonna be a big thing, so I just kind of watched it and I watched it up until I think the first edition box came out, and that's when everyone started getting hyped about it, and then I was like, try it out for myself, and it that's where it happened, right there.
Right on, yeah. What made you get it? What made you like keep an eye on it? Was it the beasties? Maybe the gameplay?
Think it was a lot of just with the beasties. I like the local mythological type stuff. Like I know of like the Mothman legends, Metal Man of Alabama. So I think that was what piqued my interest. And on top of that, with the fourth wall effects, I thought that was very interesting as well.
For
So
for
that's why I
sure,
kept an eye.
for sure. Were you like attached to any beasties? I know you mentioned Mothman, Metal Man.
Well, not at first, but once I started opening cards, I think the first one I gravitated toward was Mothman. And just
Mothman.
that art from the Cryptid Nation. Oh my God.
Kelsey Giacchino, right? Quite the artist, for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Super cool.
the promo one's pretty good too. And
Oh yeah.
we got the Nightfall Mothman as well, and a couple of the Pink Club stuff. So Mothman's everywhere. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
For sure. What kind of preparation did you do for the tournament? Did you play test extensively, or using a deck like, I'm comfortable with this deck, I'm using it in casual settings?
What I ended up doing is I ended up trying to figure. I looked at press tournaments, found like the top like two, three decks that were being used, and I built a deck based on that. That's how I came up with the fearsome critter deck. I assumed most people were playing blue, and I was right. So I ended up trying to capitalize on that, but put a twist on it where try to win in 4 turns or less, and that's how I play tested. If I can win before the Flood the Earth came on the field, that's yeah.
Yeah, interesting for sure. Well, on that same note, though, you could have also went lightning or frost with the type advantage, right? What made you want to go forest in this case?
From other card games that I've played, I very much enjoy tribal strategies. So, like for my playing Magic and playing Yu-Gi-Oh, there'd be like certain cards that synergize with each other, and I especially like that, and that's why I gravitated pretty heavily on Fearsome Critters.
Cool. What do you say? Like more of an aggro player in that case, or
I, I guess yeah, in that sense, yeah, because I'm an aggro player. I like
same here.
making people putting them off, and they have to try to figure out solutions, and then try to work off of maybe them misplaying.
So, what do you think makes you a unique deck builder?
I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm like too outside of the box. I mean, I used a pretty meta deck to play in the tournament, but I did try to spice it up and I did try to like add the quirks because I did see a lot of other fearsome critter decks. They played a little slower. They used I forget what the card does, but it creates 5 spiderlings or 10 spiderlings or other the snipe. They try to use those, and I tried to make it to the point where people said, "Wow." That's the thing. It's like, wow, that's crazy. And I did. I had a lot of people who are like, that's just ridiculous. This is how fast it's going. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the card you use the most of that I was surprised at this point was actually Luferlang, right? You seem to use that card a lot. What made you use that card a lot?
I figured in the instance it's 50 damage all the time. Uh, Especially when well, because you swing with it, it has 10, and then you get the 2 poison counters, which stacks out to 40 damage. I figured that with either getting around board wipes or heavy pressure against creatures like a lightning deck, those poison counters would end up be what winning the game. Whereas most of them, if I only have two or three fearsome critters, only like 20, 30 damage.
Right, really interesting stuff. Right. What do you? On that note, also, what do you think makes you a unique player?
I try to read individuals like next plays. So if I see something coming or if they're holding up aura, I try to think about what their next play could be and try to play around that. So maybe I'll try to play a Gumberoo earlier, or I'll try to play like a Luferlang. Maybe they'll try to board or kill other beasties quicker. So I try to play off of my opponent. I try to think as my opponent.
Definitely, and I think the biggest thing that I saw when I watching you play was you were really good at knowing when to play growth, actually, or other high big cards. But you always were watching those dampens, right, all the time. Like
Yeah.
I am noticing that, like he's watching those dampens and he's trying to minimize his room for error. Right there, well, that's really awesome overall. What kind of mechanics or cards do you enjoy the most? I know you mentioned Tribal Boost, right?
Oh yeah, no. Tribal Boost is probably my favorite mechanic on MetaZoo cards right now. I would say the next one, and I don't know if it's necessarily the mechanic, but I'm really trying to find a way to make boil over work.
Okay.
I like the fast combo-y type things, and I just really want. That's probably my next favorite. Otherwise, I would say that yeah, fearsome critters just takes up the cake.
It's fun. It's fun. First
Yeah.
and first art type I got into, so that's awesome, right? Um, what are you looking forward to in the future from MetaZoo? You want to stay in competitive play?
I would be looking forward to try to get some LGSs, get some games in with other people in person. I love simulator tournament, and I enjoyed being able to actually play the game with a bunch of people. But
Yeah,
I would love to get it more locally. Um, I had a group of buddies I've started showing it to, and they seem to think it's funny, especially when I'm playing the Cosmic deck and I have to play Fresno Nightcrawlers. That can be rough, but
a little bit. Yeah, I kind of just tell people in person. I'm assuming I'm not wearing pants. You know, just assuming
yeah, no.
because like man, in person that's a little crazy. For
Yeah.
sure. But that's awesome. Wanting to get more involved with local game stores and the like. And who knows? Maybe we'll see some more TTS tournaments in the future, as is. So it'll be great.
Yeah.
But all right. Thank you again, Justin, for the interview. Again, congratulations again on the third place. Big victory overall, and good piloting of the forest deck for sure.
Thank you.
There. But thank you for watching, dear viewers, and we will see you soon.